Today, I'll be sharing real workplace reviews about you can tell this person is about to quit. Review 1. This is from my own real experience. I suddenly became kinder to those around me. I also stopped caring about the tasks or projects I had been struggling with, and I stopped complaining about the company. Once I decided I'd quit in 3 months, even though work felt easy and I willingly took on more. In my last month, I used up all my paid leave and took time off. For reference, I've changed jobs 3 times so far. In an ordinary company, things usually run fine even if one person leaves. Of course, handover work is necessary, but you shouldn't think I'm the only one who can do this. Don't hold on too tightly. Review 2. Signs that someone's about to quit. They stop listening seriously in conversations. They start getting openly frustrated, even toward their boss or clients. They stop talking about near future plans, like a month from now or half a year later. They begin showing up late or taking sudden days off, repeatedly saying they are not feeling well. They start applying for leave benefits such as medical leave. They suddenly begin reading company rules in detail. Paperwork related to disciplinary actions increases. They avoid eye contact and leave exactly at closing time. If they start calling their boss's instructions nonsense and refuse to do them, it's confirmed they are planning to quit. Review 3. When I was changing jobs and preparing to resign, I did the following. I created a simple manual in advance before leaving. I told people who relied on me too much, work as if I'm not here, to make them more self-aware. I avoided complaining about the parts I disliked. As for the key parts of my personnel, know-how, and I didn't hand them over. I really only left the bare minimum behind. So when I see recent news about trouble in the banking industry, I can actually understand how people who resigned must have felt. Review 4. Signs that someone is definitely planning to quit. They don't read the handover documents carefully. They forget what they were taught in training. Even when they make mistakes, they act like it's someone else's problem. They don't try to learn new tasks. Their reactions become dull. They withdraw from others. And they start breaking unwritten workplace rules openly. They act as if team harmony doesn't matter. They also begin taking paid leave and half-day leave more proactively. Review 5. Revenge is a dish best served cold, meaning patience brings better results. Nowadays, unlike the tough job hunting eras, companies are everywhere. So, if a qualifying employee leaves, it's hard to find a replacement. Salaried workers work for their family and the future. If there is no hope for a raise, naturally they'll consider changing jobs. Once you get a new job offer, it feels like unlocking a victory soundtrack that plays endlessly in your head. And when you start saying what you truly think at work, things surprisingly start to go well. Review 6. The atmosphere at my workplace was really bad, and many female employees quit. Here are some common traits I noticed. They looked unhappy even while sitting at their desks. They avoided making eye contact with senior staff they disliked, and walked quickly to avoid them. They stopped attending company parties or events. They often looked irritated when asked for help. They disliked training new employees. When their boss said something, they would immediately talk back. Review 7. One of my subordinates is resigning soon. He was originally quiet, but after announcing his resignation, his personality suddenly changed. He became rough and argumentative. He used to have a heavy workload, never took his annual leave, and often worked through lunch. During his exit interview, when I tried to convince him to stay, he said, "You've made me overwork for years, and now you still want me to keep working? If you push me any further, I'll take formal action." It was quite stressful. Apparently, he's even kept photos of all his time cards as evidence. Review 8. Even if someone tries to stop you, it's your life. No one else has the right to decide for you. If your workplace is too unreasonable, it's best to act quickly. So don't get this wrong. You don't need to leave on perfect terms. Do a basic handover and just stay. "I don't know," or "that's not my responsibility anymore," and leave cleanly. Transfers or relocations within a company are different. But for resignations, the conditions are totally separate. Surprisingly, many people don't seem to understand this. Review 9. You can usually tell when a subordinate or junior colleague is planning to quit. If it's because their work doesn't suit them or due to human relations issues, you can see in their eyes the spark is gone. If it's due to family or personal issues, you can notice in small conversations. If you talk to them regularly, of course, reasons for quitting vary, but people around can usually feel it, like maybe they want to quit or they're about to leave. Review 10. That was me once. When I wanted to quit, but hadn't decided yet, I often talked about it, saying things like, "I want to quit," or "I wonder if there is a better job." It even showed in my attitude. But once I firmly decided to quit, I stopped saying anything. I started quietly preparing for my next step. When I had time, I organized documents little by little, cleaned my desk, and made simple manuals so that handover would be smooth. Review 11. At my company, young employees keep quitting one after another. Right now, the job market favors workers. So talented young people have many opportunities. I'm a mid-career hire myself, So I understand the desire to take on new challenges. It's fine to let people go if they want to leave. But looking ahead, it's depressing to think the company will be left without only incompetent or unmotivated people. Companies must realize that if they don't raise the pay of valuable employees, they'll lose them easily. Review 12. I think disappearing without notice is too extreme. But it's true that casual hallway talks with managers increase before quitting. Since there's a handover to discuss. However, when employees stop consulting their boss about dissatisfaction, it's because they've already given up. They know nothing will change. When companies say, let's talk to stop you from leaving or for future reference, it's already too late. By the time someone submits their resignation, they've lost all expectations for the company. Talking about learning from this is just a waste of time. If a company needs to ask why people are quitting, that's exactly why people keep quitting. Okay, review 13. When I quit without telling anyone, without handover, and just left a resignation letter behind, it felt incredibly refreshing. Common signs of someone about to quit. They suddenly start using unpaid leave. They pretend to be sick to attend interviews elsewhere. So even with remote work, final job interviews often happen face to face. And when a company tells you, don't fear failure, but blames you whenever you fail, that's the kind of a place you want to walk away from at any time. Okay, review 14. I suddenly start taking 3 half-day leaves within a month. So of course, people suspected I was job hunting. Honestly, even I admit it looked suspicious, but I had to adjust to other companies' schedule. It couldn't be helped. Sorry, but farewell to my current company. My future matters more than the company's future. Since I'm leaving, the details don't concern me anymore. Okay, review 15. I quit the company I had worked for 10 years. At 1 a.m., I went there saying I'd forgotten something. I asked them to open the office and cleared out my locker. I took the company equipment home temporarily. Then at 9 a.m., went straight to HR to return it. I left without seeing any of my coworkers again. It felt so freeing that shouted, serves them right, and pumped my fist in the car on the way home. Review 16. Signs someone's about to quit. In moments when they normally show emotion, they suddenly act calm and indifferent. That's when I realize this person is leaving soon. For example, one skilled coworker, A-kun, used to argue politely when his boss nagged him. But one day, he just replied quietly, yes, and moved on. At the moment, I sensed he no longer had any attachment to this place. Level 17. Common warning signs. Taking unexpected days off, making more personal calls, and suddenly taking many certification exams. Also, it's simple. In corporate life, respect isn't shown through words, but through pay. We don't need to care about vague evaluations. What matters is salary. Talented employees who are unhappy with the pay will quit. And only unmotivated ones will remain. That's just how it works. Level 18. I didn't even plan to change jobs. But since I had more hospital visits lately, I started taking short leaves because I handle repeat tasks. I made manuals to improve efficiency. I also tended to speak sharply to people. But all of this coincidentally happened around the same time. So rumors spread that I was prepared to leave was frustrating and uncomfortable. Eventually, being seen that way made it unbearable, so I actually did change jobs. Review 19. From my experience as a manager, here are some patterns. They talk less. They stop mentioning paydays or bonuses. They lose focus at work. They stop socializing outside the office. They check their photos more often. They are late or take sudden leaves more frequently. They get irritated easily. If they leave after following procedure, that's fine. But sometimes people just stop showing up one day. Leave without making a mess is their ideal. But only a few actually do. Okay, review 20. Here's the last one. When I quit, I left absolutely nothing behind. When I first joined, there wasn't even a manual, just verbal explanations, so I didn't leave one either. My only regret was snapping at an annoying lady during a stressful week. I later apologized during my resignation process. You can often tell who's quitting. Their personal belongings gradually disappear from the locker or desk, and they start taking more half days or paid leaves. At that point, it's almost certain they are job hunting. If a boss doesn't notice that, they are honestly not very capable. You can always sense when someone's already found a new workplace. They on for today's real life reviews about you can tell this person is about to quit. What do you think? Please share your thoughts in the comments. How was today's video? We'll communicate creating videos that helpful for everyone. So please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the next one. Okay, see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.